What's going on, everybody? This is
Lady Shy.
this is,
Mass Creator.
and I'm Mandier's Teddy, and welcome to the Sophisticated Grizzly. What's going on, everybody? And welcome to the Sophisticated Grizzly. And tonight we're talking about gender roles and what?
In leadership.
Yeah, you're gonna get in on this. Gender roles and leadership. There was a video that I put up on the Sophisticated Grizzly earlier. If you haven't had an opportunity to, go over to the Sophisticated Grizzly page over on Facebook, check that out, and then come back and join us on the discussion. But I want to get everybody's opinion on the video that they saw. And I mean everybody. So we start with my man JB. What do you feel about the
Even.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, it's fresh for me because I just watched it before we started the podcast. So I just think that the gentleman who was talking about the way that Black men are the problems more than solutions, I just think that he was totally off base, because if you've never been in control, how can you be the problem? If someone else has always been the in front of you, if you have people in front of you directing you from, not to go back to slavery, but from slavery all the way through.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even to the late 80s and the drug epidemics. Like they always said, we didn't have plane to fly drugs into our communities, but they got there and that's where they stayed. So something has always been a catalyst towards keeping our people and our structure of being able to be more connected. Yeah. It's always been something that has been put in between us to break us up and to keep us divided. And just like, I mean, I know he was talking, he got a little offended because somebody asked him a simple question. And, if you can't say what you are about, if you, like I was saying, if you go to League of the Women Voters and say, what is your mission and what are you trying to accomplish? If you say that to a person, or from the League of Women Voters, they're going to have a answer for you. Yeah. If you say that to the NAACP, what is your goal and what are you trying to accomplish? They are going to have an answer for you. So why can't you say that to the LGBTQ plus community and get a question instead of getting attacked?
Yes. Instead of getting insulted, just answer the question, or just say, I choose not to answer that question at this time. Or you can even say, sir, I don't think you're qualified to ask me that question.
Right.
That's simple. But you decided to attack an entire subgroup of the Black community instead of just going forward with the question that was asked to you.
Correct.
And that's where the problem came in. That's where I mostly had the problem with. What's going on, sis?
Hey, what's going on? How y'all today?
All right, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, so before I ask you, I want to ask Lady Shy.
We're gonna ask
you. I want to ask Lady Shy. What you thought about the video, Lady Shy?
I thought it was interesting. I mean, I can't remember all the points of it because it was around lunchtime, so
I don't think there were points.
He was reading.
Yeah,
he was reading. I can't remember all that he said within his reading.
A little diatribe.
Yeah. He was aiming to hurt because of his hurt. Somebody hurt him before, so he's trying to hurt somebody else.
Yeah. The problem is that, and this is like when me and you discussed it earlier, all straight men ain't hurt you.
Right.
Because you don't know all straight men.
Right.
So for you to aim your anger or whatever it is at all straight men, it was just nasty. Yeah. But sis, did you see the video?
If we're talking about the same video, I think I did see it.
Mm-hmm.
It was put on the page this afternoon.
Oh, it was put on the page. I didn't see it then.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, it's I'm assuming this young man is from the LGBTQ community, and Dr. Umar Johnson simply asked him, "What does your community stand for? What are your goals and objectives?" And he decided to go in on basically a whole tirade talking about straight black men are the least qualified to lead anybody anywhere. So I'm was just trying to get everybody's opinion on all of the different things that he had to say, because he said a lot. He said a lot, and the thing about it is, I can't tell him how he's supposed to feel, and I'm not one of those people that's going to try to tell somebody that you shouldn't think that way or you shouldn't feel that way. But what you really did was truly separate. You said that Dr. Umar Johnson was trying to separate us as a community, when everything that you just did separated straight black men from gay black men. Everything that you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, and you happen to put women into it, saying that our society or our subgroup should be led by our women instead of by our men. And he said that we want to be white men so bad, we want to be in charge and then be up front and be the leader. And white men did not come up with the concept of being the protector and the provider. That's literally something that's been inbred in every single society from the beginning of time. It's always been the men go out and hunt and gather. I mean, it's been since cavemen. The cavemen went out and hunt. They were the hunter gatherers, and the women took care of home, and the men protected and provided for the family. So for him to say, we want to be white men because we want to be in front and lead our community is pure nonsense.
Okay. You know what? And I did see that. And this is my thing, that I didn't agree with everything that he said, because everything that he said was not true for all black men.
Yes.
That, of course, we know for sure. But I do kind of agree that men have a need to be a leader. And truth be told, all men are not fit to lead. And just because you are a protector, that doesn't mean that you can be a leader, because there are societies in Africa where the woman is the head, the matriarch, and she is the leader. But that doesn't take away from what the man also does as a protector and a provider. It's just that he now trusts that woman, or that woman has the ability or the knowledge to be able to lead.
Okay. Yeah. And the thing, so I think where I'm going now, I find everything that you say interesting.
Women aren't capable of doing what they in what society says that they should do. Like, women should cook and clean and do all that. All women can't do that. So I think, I think we got to kind of get away from this standard that we have, that because you are a man, you're fit to lead. All of them are not. And we know that for sure. Now, do I give respect? Do I give respect to the ones that can and do? Yes. Absolutely. And I also give respect to the women that can and do lead.
Okay. Now, one of the words that he decided, well, before I say that, hey, what's going on, Red Lipstick? And Mr. He said, how y'all doing? Welcome to the Grizzly. Before I go any further into that, I did want to ask you, like, when he made the statement that straight black men are the least qualified to lead our community, what do you feel about that?
He's right and he's wrong. The only reason why I feel like he's right is because statistically, y'all are behind. And that's not necessarily your fault. It's just the way the world and the system has been set up against the black man, that it kind of makes y'all that way.
Okay.
Y'all will push, to the background, and we will push forward. So in a sense, women had to become the stronger minded, because we're not going to say physically, stronger minded version of themselves because the men were pushed to the back.
Okay.
So he's right and he's wrong. Because like I said, that doesn't make every black man unfit to lead. It doesn't. But there are some that are unfit to lead. And like I said, because of how the system is set up, it has made y'all kind of behind.
Yeah. Now, does that
And
make
then,
us unfit to lead, or people just don't get out of the way?
it's a disadvantage. Y'all been given a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, we've been given a huge disadvantage, but if you look at people now, I'm gonna take it back a little bit. If you look at people like Huey P. Newton, Dr. King, Malcolm X, these are straight black men that led our community. So
Absolutely.
even in the midst of being pushed to the back, we still know how to step up. The problem is when the community fights against the man that tries to step up and lead, because it's not so much other groups outside of the community. It's people inside the community that fight against that brother that's trying to lead the group, that's trying to lead the community. But before we go any further, I want to welcome Mr. Gaston. What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on with y'all, man?
Hey.
I snuck in here on y'all.
I see you snuck in like a thief in the night, bro. So what you got to say on the subject?
Man, I don't think black men have an issue leading. I think everything is individualized. I don't look at nothing as a whole. I look at people as individuals, man. So I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of guys that's out there not fit to lead. You dig what I'm saying? And I think there's plenty of guys that are. I mean, you can I mean, we humans, man. Nobody is infallible, man. Sometimes people haven't even been groomed to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people haven't even been groomed to have enough respect for themselves, or enough self-esteem, or enough confidence to even be a leader. Not that they couldn't. It's just that type of thing hasn't been cultured in them, so they wouldn't even know where to begin. I think it's an individual thing.
Yeah,
I do think that in the society that we live in, though, black men are largely and primarily disrespected. And I think over years, over hundreds of years, over centuries, some of them ain't even interested in leading for real. You know what I'm saying? They so busy battling everything else we had to battle on a day-to-day basis, ain't worrying about being a leader. We still in survival mode.
I feel you. I want to welcome Mrs. He said to the building. What's going on? How you doing? So JB, Rich, you know what, Rich, you ain't spoke on it yet, bro. Tell me what you feel about it, man.
So my personal opinion is the black man ain't never been not able to lead anything. Okay, we've been told that we can't lead, and we showed countless of times that we can lead. All right, I feel like the brother who was talking and they got daddy issues, to be honest. His daddy hurt him, and he's taking it out on everyone else. Okay, so to quote one of my favorite radio personalities, Bernard McCavan, shut the fuck up forever. Dog, I want to hear from him no more. Okay, that's all I got to say right now.
I think that's another thing that we have done is that Gaston touched on it real heavily, is know your role, know where you are in society, and know what you can do in society. That doesn't mean that you cannot be in society and do stuff that people say you can't. You can learn to do things, but also there are things that you can strive for that you'll never reach. Just because of who you are and your makeup. How many of us sitting here are groomed to be president of the United States?
Okay.
But there are black men out here with the intelligence and the fortitude, and they can do the job. So yeah, we can lead, but it's also like any society, you have your chiefs, you have your Indians, you have the people that till the field, you have the people that cook the food, you have the people that hunt the food. So you have to know your role, you have to know your place. And this gentleman on this little diatribe that he went on, he was hurt in more than one aspect. I don't think it was just daddy issues. I think it was acceptance issues from people around him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, depending upon where how he came out, if he is in the LGBTQ plus, I believe he is community, who you came out with too, and how that was perceived, and whether you were disowned or whether disenfranchised from your family. It has all those energies can decide how you're going to look at Black men from your experiences with the Black men you had experiences with.
Exactly.
And they, it's just like anything else. It's like you can hate all white people, or you can hate the white people that did something that was negative to you.
Exactly.
Because they're good white people. They're good Black people. They're
good
strong Black people that can lead, and they're good, strong Black people that you don't want to follow to a bus stop.
Mm-hmm. When I was listening to that post, I was listening and I'm watching his facial expressions and things like that, and it seems like he doesn't identify with that. God didn't even identify with being a Black man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because he was saying y'all. He was like y'all, like canceling, taking himself out of there.
Yeah, and I think he was taking himself out of the straight Black man community, which I don't even understand why it's a community. It's Black men, period.
Period.
That's
Black
right.
Men, period.
Yeah, but you know that community, they tend to separate themselves from us.
Yeah, and I'll tell anybody, it doesn't matter. The cops don't care who you're sleeping with when they pull you over.
Right.
How about that?
They're not going to ask you who your girlfriend or boyfriend is when they pull you over. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, you woke up Black, you're going to go to sleep Black, and prayerfully one day you'll die old and Black. And
that's right.
At the hands of the police, and he, like I said, he don't care about what community you in, And like Mr. He said made a statement. What did he say, Sha? What Mr. He said?
Use these glasses.
Of course, you gotta use them.
Saw the video, and it was, in my opinion, filled with a lot of blanket statements, judgmental criticisms, and a lot of his personal opinion. But he is in typical American form, focusing on the effect.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Bring them down. So.
You got it.
There we go.
Scroll down to your right.
Oh no, we're trying to get this thing to work. Oh, you gonna drive that? Okay. But yeah, we're gonna get to Mr. He Says comment in a minute. You got it? All right, there you go.
No consideration of the cause. Black men get zero benefit of the doubt. Somebody said he needs a hug.
Very much so. Yeah.
They agree
very
with
much so.
Realistic agrees what he said.
Yeah. So, and I think one of the problems that I had when he decided to say that straight Black men are the most incarcerated, and Black people in the prison system are the most incarcerated, because if you look in the female prisons, it's mostly Black women.
Mm-hmm.
There's more Black women in the female prisons than there is any other color woman. So it's Black people that are the most incarcerated. And what you're going to tell me is straight Black men are the most incarcerated. Are you going to tell me none of those men, no gay man commits crimes? None of them are criminals? None of them are criminals.
Why you think they're incarcerated?
Yeah.
Because they scared for them.
Exactly.
It's a fact.
Yeah. And the thing about it is and I even went back to when your father back in the day used to work in the factory. Now, a lot of our grandfathers and fathers, they probably was reading on 4th and 5th grade levels. They probably didn't have a whole lot of schooling or whatever, but they did know how to do that factory job. They did know how to work at Bethlehem Steel and stuff like that. Some of our fathers were a lot more intelligent than that. You know what I mean? But a lot of them got those jobs that these jobs were sent overseas in the different countries. You're talking about the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So you saying, okay, to get this corporate job or to get this job making a little bit more money, you're going to have to go to school. Well, you got 3 or 4 kids in the house and your wife. They can't wait around for you to go to school.
Right.
They can't wait around for you to figure this out. So you got the brother at the end of the corner say, "Hey, bro, carry this up the street for me. I can get $500." You're not worried about the criminality of the situation. You're worried about your children eating.
That's right.
So a lot of people think that the only reason the drug dealers got out there is because they woke up that morning and wanted to be flashy and live this fast life. A lot of them just wanted to feed their family.
Necessity.
And if you think about right now, most of these drug dealers that are in jail are in there on weed violations, but now you got weed shops and they still in jail. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you want to say that the black man is the most incarcerated because that was systematically put in place to incarcerate black men because too many of us were becoming leaders. Too many of us were figuring out how to lead. So because a lot of these leaders put guys behind them that could lead. So if you think about Huey P. Newton, he had Bobby Seale. You had the brother. There was so many different people, so many different heads that they had to cut off all of these different heads. So the best way to make sure another leader doesn't pop up is to take away the jobs and send them out there in the streets and flood the streets with drugs, and they'll figure it out. I guarantee you they'll figure out how to do this crime.
And it also
that's
drives
right.
the education.
Exactly.
That's
So
right.
if they're in jail or if they're incarcerated or they're high, they're not in class.
Exactly.
They're not learning, they're not maturing as a nation. I mean, as a nation of people.
Yeah, exactly.
So everything is going to have a trickle down effect. It's not just, if we're in jail, there's a problem, or if we're in jail, we have a problem, or if we're on drugs, we have a problem. It's like everything, all those things were done systematically to make sure we were going to be left
behind. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I said like the system made it so that it put the black man behind. Yeah, that's why I said that. And the only thing that I hate about it is that we have been bred as a community to group people as a whole. Just like I was saying, like there are men that aren't fit to lead and there are men that are fit to lead. But we tend to, and as he did in the video, we tend to group everybody together because his experience with black men wasn't a positive experience that made him view all men that way.
Yeah, and I think the problem that I had,
y'all said he's leaving out himself because essentially he's talking about himself because he's a black man. Yeah. Just because he's sleeping with another man, that doesn't make you any less of a man. Exactly. So I wonder, do he see those traits within himself to feel that?
And what is his dating? Because if he's not dating black men, I mean, he did say straight.
So
he said straight black men. So he did make that
distinction.
That's the
thing. Like, we don't know. I think the problem is he's probably had straight black men say derogatory stuff to him. They probably said crazy stuff to him. And here's the thing: as kids and even as adults, people say stuff to you all the time. Say stuff bad. I've had bad stuff said to me. Get the fuck over it.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, if you're going to allow what one or two people, because you don't know every straight black man, you ain't met every straight black man. And the only thing Dr. Umar Johnson said, now I didn't hear the rest of the video, so I want to go back and listen to everything that he asked. But from what he said, from the clip that you shared, all that man said was, what are your objectives? What are your goals? What are you saying? That is all he asked. He didn't say anything about who you want to be with, who you want to sleep with, or none of. He didn't down any of that thing. All he said was, what it, as a community, because you have separated yourself as a different community from because you want to call yourself the LGBT community, TQ community, and you called us the cis community. So, okay, you separated yourself. We didn't separate you. You know what I mean? So you made that choice. You decided to make that choice. So at what point do you say, okay, whatever happened to me ain't got anything to do with all of these people. It just has something to do with the person that I'm mad at the moment. So
that's right.
You decided to sit up here and say that we're at least qualified to lead. You spit in the face of all of these strong black men who have led us for centuries. When you decide to say that we're the most incarcerated, you spit in the face of every black man that went out there and got incarcerated because he was just trying to feed his family. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying, here's the thing, I'm not even saying crime is correct, but when you take away my food options, when you take away my education options, when you tell me that I can't even work at the job that I've been at for however many years for a living because you decided to send it overseas, and the next job I got to qualify for, I need a high school education or a college degree, and I got kids at home, what do you think I'm gonna choose?
But it's so ironic that he's taught the way that he was addressing the straight black male, that it's how a lot of straight black men who aren't educated and don't have the space in their hearts to understand the LGBTQ community, how they talk about them. So how can you talk about straight black men the same way that you don't like them talking about you?
Exactly.
And expect people to give you acceptance.
Yeah, because so here's the thing with the statements that you were making. Does that make you cisphobic?
Yes.
And that's the thing. Are you cisphobic? Because somebody asked you a question you didn't like. That makes
what's this?
That's what they call straight black men.
Yeah, that's what they call straight black, straight people.
What does it stand for?
I guess you go by the gender that was assigned to you, because that's what they call it, assigned to you at birth.
Yeah.
The gender that
so I would be considered cisgender. You would be considered cisgender. Yeah.
Because I consider myself straight.
No, because you identify by the gender that was assigned to you at birth.
Yeah.
So that's a problem now.
No, but that's just the title that they've given us. It's not a problem. But with their community, there's a title for everything. Giving us a title as well.
So if they can assign us titles, do we get to assign them titles?
They assign their own titles.
No, I'm saying, but can we assign them titles?
No, because
essentially we actually did.
Yeah, so
because back in the day, what they call? We called them gay guys. Black for GP, the faggies, dykes. So essentially, we did give them titles.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that before we go on, let me Mrs. He said saw it. She saw the video, hated it. We know many great black men, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now let me see. What's the next statement right here?
Wait a minute.
All were Brother Malcolm, Brother Martin, even Gandhi, all were incarcerated. Don't forget Jesus.
Yeah. And let's see.
Don't forget it. And don't get locked up when you really did something.
Yeah.
There's been people that sat in jail for doing nothing and been exonerated or not years later. So you can't just I don't even really like the whole jail thing, because of course plenty of us as criminals, including myself, used to be. I'm reformed. You dig what I'm saying? So I understand the criminal aspect and we choose it for different reasons. Some of us choose it like I did just to be cool. I didn't even really have it to do. I was poor, but I wasn't poor as some people. I wore hand-me-downs, but I didn't not have a roof over my head or not have clothes. So it was definitely a choice. But there's a lot of people in jail not by their own choice.
That's right.
Be clear. There's a lot of people not in jail, and it can happen very quickly. It can happen just being at the wrong place at the wrong time, or being around, being hanging around the wrong guys, and it can happen. It can happen.
Yeah. And so
but most people in jail aren't there because they want to be.
Yeah, but if you think about it, so he said that we are, as straight black men, are the most homophobic. Okay, I need to address that for a second. Do you realize that some of the activity that were done to black men to break them back in slavery was homophobic?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that it's a homosexual behavior. Forgive me. For its homosexual behavior, it was called buck breaking.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it was to demean him, man. It was to break him.
Yeah,
it was to break him, to make him feel less than a man.
Yeah. So we may have a bit of an issue, but that doesn't mean that we don't look at you as a human being. All you have to do is sit down and have a conversation with us. Most of us could care less nowadays. Most of us don't even care who you sleep with, what you about. I don't care who your boyfriend is. I don't care what y'all did on vacation. What are you about, and how can it contribute to our community? That's it. Don't really give a damn who you down with, who you bunking with.
But that's always
Pretty
been
much.
with men, because if you remember all the way back to Eddie Murphy Raw, he said, "You go F that D. I'm gonna go have me a beer."
Exactly.
He was like, I was on the basketball court, and he said, "I'm gonna go ask me a D," and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna have me a beer. You go suck that thing."
Yeah, exactly.
Because we don't care. If we're not.
We don't. We just joking. We just like to have y'all on joke, or not y'all. Like to have them on joke time. Real straight men. I don't know no straight men that really even care about none of that, but they will tell them jokes, and we gonna laugh at them jokes. But we can't do that no more.
Right, no, you can, because the whole idea is that a society that can't laugh at themselves is a dead society.
Basically.
So
That's right.
They want the human race to die off. We're gonna stop laughing at the things that make us human. Whether you're straight, whether you're, I mean, even church people have comedians.
Yeah,
so come on,
exactly.
Yeah, gay people got comedians, church people got comedians. So, and the thing about it is, there are white comedians that joke about black people, black comedians that joke about white people. The only community so far that seems to have a problem with somebody telling a joke about it is the LGBTQ community.
That's it.
Yeah. The thing is, a joke is a joke. You know, and depending on how far you take the joke. But at the end of the day, you also got to look at the fact that whatever your problem is, you decided to make this separation. You decided
there it is.
Black men versus gay black men. We ain't saying that.
Right.
We don't care. Like when people, okay, here's the thing. When everybody think about, I'm going back to the NFL when Michael Sam got drafted. People went crazy over this man because he's a first openly gay man to get drafted. I don't give a shit. Can you play?
And he couldn't.
That's right.
That's all
my
I
team
think about.
gonna win.
But there's a guy on the Raiders right now. He's an openly gay man. Busts his ass.
Well,
He's an all-pro. He can play.
Well, yeah, he does.
He can play. He's an all. Hey.
Well, yes.
Exactly. He put in the work.
What about
there are basketball players?
Yeah,
They're openly
the
basketball.
twins.
Yeah.
They were twins.
Yeah.
Jason and something. I forgot their last name, but he had a documentary. Both of them, they were twins. They both were from California.
Yeah.
And the one ended up hiding his homosexuality until he was 31.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "We don't care about that."
Nobody cares.
Guess what? He was the enforcer on his team.
Yeah. So
when they wanted somebody to go knock somebody down on a hard pick, it was him.
If I'm in the military and it's a man beside me with a gun ready to protect my six, do you think I care who his boyfriend is?
Exactly.
I'm not.
Can you shoot?
Get my back right.
Can you shoot?
Make sure that I don't get shot. I don't give a
That's
damn
right.
who you're going home to. So that we don't separate y'all like that. Y'all separate it. And you have a handful of people that come at you sideways. You have a handful of people that come and say something to you wrong. And here's the thing. I ain't apologizing for them. You need to go get them to apologize because I ain't say this to you. Mm-hmm. Is the fact that you coupled in all, or he said most. Let me get it correct because we don't get everybody all upset. He said most straight black men. And then he went on with the diatribe from there. He said, we're not fit to lead. We're the least qualified to lead. We're the most incarcerated, the most homophobic, the most misogynistic. Black men are the most misogynistic.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, many of these office buildings where these women went out to be secretaries and administrative assistants, are they getting lawsuits against their white bosses or the black bosses? Are they? Yeah. Our mama would have killed us.
Yeah.
Our mama would have killed us. We walked in that office trying to act like a damn fool. So first of all, so for you to even make that statement, are there misogynistic black men out here? Absolutely. There are misogynistic black gay men out here. You think there are black gay men out here that don't objectify other gay men? That's what
it's a human thing. Mm-hmm.
Mr. He said, what's the Mr. saying, my brother?
Him saying we trying to be like white men.
That's a little dirty.
It was even worse this
Where?
like all of this was brown. He was looking at all this charge.
Ignorance is so bliss. That's
Exactly.
right. Once you got something, you don't know how to grasp it and know that you wouldn't have what you have if it wasn't for things before that.
Exactly.
Like if the civil rights movement didn't go on, and then if the we didn't
the women's lib movement, all of these
women's
different
rights, all of that ties in to gay rights.
Exactly.
How can we want to be like somebody that want to be like us?
Exactly.
That don't make sense.
Yeah.
Only way we want to be like white men is to be able to live and prosper without getting shot down, without being marginalized and all of those things. I think that's the only way we want to be like a black man, but I don't. That about it.
Yeah,
just being treated fairly. That's about it.
Exactly. We just want. Here's the thing: as a black community, and I'm speaking for straight black men and gay black men, just leave us alone and let us prosper. We don't even want your help. Just leave us alone. We got it.
We don't want no special treatment.
Yes. So my problem with him, he's talking about Dr. Umar Johnson was separate the community. He did more separation of the community with his statement than what Dr. Umar Johnson did, simply by asking a question.
Yep.
Because that's all the man did was say, "What do you stand for? What are your goals and objectives?"
If you don't have an answer, you attack the person who said.
Hey, I'm a firm believer in separation is good sometimes, man.
Me too. You ain't the only one, but that's another show for another time.
I don't believe in cancel culture, but can we cancel that motherfucker? Like,
I mean,
where's the troops at? Man? Block his page, yo. Get it, report him.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna get in trouble. We're gonna get in trouble about that.
And
you can't use
that statement on the page earlier. He said he actually went at the guy on TikTok. So my boy Matt, I gave him the link, but I think he had to work tonight.
I'm gonna find his statement so we can see it.
Yeah,
but send me Matthew Jordan. I'll repost it.
Go ahead. What did you say?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. Go ahead. Come on.
No, I'm good.
So we got Rich and Shy switching out tonight. So what's the statement my man Matthew made?
Matthew said, "This is white supremacy at its finest. So gay black men are not black men. They now have separated themselves into a subculture void of being identified as straight. Everything."
That's what I was hearing. That's what I was hearing because he kept saying,
"Conquer his so-called."
He kept speaking of black men like he wasn't one.
Yeah.
How you gonna be on the cameras facing this way?
He was like, y'all are the most.
Hold on. One time I did talk, y'all talking with me.
I'm sorry.
The so-called read was full of assumptions, blanket statements, and implicit biases. This is further proof of the gay agenda being used to divide the black community.
Yeah,
that's what Matthew said on the page earlier.
And Groovy, you said something as well.
What my man Groove said?
He said he's painting a wide brush. Painting with a wide brush, something was a fact, but I couldn't really wrap my mind around what he was saying because I kept waiting to hear what he identifies as. He is saying he is no longer a black man because he is gay. So basically, everybody's saying the same thing. He's
right.
Yeah, you literally separated yourself.
I think the reason they do that is because there's a lot of perks that come with the LBGT community. They support the hell out of each other.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? And I think they don't even see those lines, man. Like when you cross over, when you just part of that community, you just part of that community. That racism start to go away and all that. Not that it won't pop up, but like that community really. I mean, I'm envious as a little bit as you know, for black people at our community. I'm envious of what they got, man. They look how they growing by leaps and bounds and getting it done. I mean, legislation and all that. You know what I mean? You can't sleep on the fact that when they move as a unit.
That's right.
Yeah. The problem is you can move as a unit, but don't attack people that ain't in that unit.
Absolutely. And don't forget who you are.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. He said, wait. So he doesn't think he's perceived as a black man. His sexuality is not his identity. Absolutely not. You can think that all you want. Like I said, if the cop pull you over, if me and you are in a car, the cop don't care who I date, who you date. We both getting shot. They don't care about the fact that you are a straight black man or a gay black man. Both of us getting shot. But we're gonna take a break for 1 second because we got the brand new segments coming into the Grizzly tonight. The first segment is, y'all.
What are you eating?
What is Bronwyn eating today?
She eat the colossal shrimps.
What you got, Miss Bronwyn?
Some steamed shrimp with onion and a
onion.
squeeze of lemon.
And she just
And I
eating
said,
away.
I'm hungry, and here she goes.
And here
By
she go
way
with eating.
of cornbread.
Where did you get them?
Cornbread. That's what I said. By way of cornbread.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going into the next subject with our resident what do we call you, Mr. JP?
Drunk.
No, drunk. We're gonna go with drunk. No. Our resident connoisseur of cognacs.
Yes, and fine drinks. Well, today I'm going to introduce you to something that took me by surprise. I just got it, and I finally broke the lid on it, and I was pleasantly surprised. I love Jameson, but this is Jameson Orange. It has orange zest. It's not a sweet orange. It just has the essence of orange in it, so it gives it a nice little fresh orange taste on the back end.
I can't see the bottle.
Huh?
What's
it's green.
Oh yeah,
We're on green screen, so it's gonna do that.
Yes, it is. It's on the green screen.
It's on the green screen, so it's gonna disappear. The bottle's green. So it's Jameson Orange, and it's whiskey. It's an Irish whiskey, so the Irish people do make a great whiskey. But I like drinks that don't have a harsh back taste or a harsh sweetness to them. And this just has that nice essence. Good. I'm drinking it right now. So medium price bottle. I think it was under $30. So definitely, if you want something to sip on your bar that's going to do it for you, I think Jameson Orange will do that for you.
All right.
And not stinking.
Damn right.
So now we must go to our resident sommelier. And if you don't know what a sommelier is someone who smells good, wants other people to smell good, and tells you what makes them smell good.
Okay.
Mr. Dearest,
Well,
what do you have for us today that you think will make these gentlemen smell good and the ladies swoon?
Well, fellas, I'm gonna tell you today we have Dolce & Gabbana K.
Okay.
And I'm telling you right now, this right here. This is Dolce & Gabbana K. I'm telling you right now, this has the freshest, sweetest smell that you're gonna get on a cologne, and it lasts. It's another banger that lasts all day. I've had this on for about 12 hours. You can still smell it on me. When I tell you this is something that your lady will enjoy, hey, it don't matter who you seeing. It's somebody that your significant other will enjoy. I don't want to get in trouble. Everybody's included. Everybody like to smell good.
Yeah.
So it don't matter who it is. So this is Dolce & Gabbana K, and let me let you see the bottle, because if the bottle don't look like this, it ain't that exact cologne. It should have that crown on the top. It should have that K in the middle. If you don't see that crown on top, you don't see that K in the middle, it ain't the right one. So Dolce & Gabbana K, it should have a crown on the front of the box.
Yeah.
So that is from the resident sommelier today.
Sommelier.
Sommelier, yes.
And just so you will also know, I am wearing today Burberry Brit. I love it. It's a nice everyday scent. It's nice and clean. Like if I wasn't wearing a jersey, I would smell good. If I had on my white shirt with my straight tie, that Burberry Brit is amazing too. So check those out. I don't have a bottle, but Burberry Brit.
Yeah. So now that we've gotten the what everybody eating and drinking and smelling like out of the way,
What you drinking?
let's get back to
Drinking. What you drinking?
Which way? Wait, you
iced tea.
Get on tonight, some iced tea.
Okay. All right, so
Is it from Long Island or regular?
Get the food out the
No, it's
screen.
not Long Island.
It's regular. Baltimore with sugar. Got the right amount of diabetes in it. If you don't do like this when you take that first sip of Baltimore tea,
It ain't the right Baltimore.
It ain't the right Baltimore.
That ain't
tea.
no half and half. Yeah, you gotta
No,
have that sour rum food at the same time.
make mine more southern style. Mine not that sweet.
Okay.
She pour honey and sugar and lemon.
Sometimes lemon tea. It's pretty good.
Well, if anybody had the opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with this young man, what would you say to him? I'm gonna start with hold on, let me bring Gaston back in. What's up, brother? So the question that I just asked was, if any one of us had the opportunity to sit down with this young man and have a conversation, what would you ask him? I'm gonna start with Gaston.
What would I ask him?
Yeah.
I would ask him why in his speech does it sound like he's separating himself from black men. So yeah, my question to him would be, does he identify as a black man?
Okay. JB, what would you ask him, bro?
What do you? I would say something or ask him along the lines of, if black men can't lead, how can you lead a conversation on how we are supposed to be reactive to you? And be reactive and give you a decent conversation, because we can't, we don't operate on a level where you feel we're able to be responsive or receptive to who you are. How?
Something going on with the connection.
Yeah. Because it was kind of it was breaking up a lot while he was talking.
Y'all over there munching down on them shrimp, huh?
Yeah. David was like, what we get? I was like, go get some shrimp. I haven't had any in a minute.
I'll let y'all talk.
Huh?
Where your hubby at?
Right here eating them.
Oh, tell him I say what up. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up? I'm just eating, letting y'all talk.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad they're talking about this one, because that one threw me for a loop.
Yeah, homeboy, I don't know what he was going through. I was thinking that, like I said, one he for whatever reason don't identify as a black man, and secondly, it seemed like he angry towards black men. So I want to know what his relationship with his father, if he has one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you a little secret. There was a lot of sisters that was on the battle cry for him.
Huh?
It was a lot of sisters that was rallying behind what he was saying.
Women love when man bashing is going on.
And that's exactly what I pointed out.
They love that shit.
Yeah, here's the crazy
not
thing.
all women, of course, but yeah, women love that shit. They love a good male bashing.
Now, here's the crazy thing. They all listen to that gay man. Mm-hmm. But when Kevin Samuel say something, they like, oh, he a faggot, you should be listening to.
Yeah, he gotta be gay talking like that. He don't
I'm
like women who hurt him. All that, yeah. I hear the chatter. I be chilling. I had to jump on. I wasn't doing that. I was gonna slide out tonight, and I don't think I'm sliding.
But y'all leaving out that men like a good woman bashing too. Y'all like to hear us getting bashed.
Nah, that's false.
No,
not all, but a lot of some do.
They do.
I think the most you hear about women bashing is when the nigga like got a you know what I mean? Like when niggas be talk, niggas talk hypersexual in songs, throwing things like that. But I don't really see a lot of women bashing. Niggas that get mad at their children's mom or somebody that they divorcing and stuff like that. But like I don't really hear women bashing. I do hear a lot of disrespect though. I hear like, you know what I mean, talk about, you know, as far as like sexually and shit like that. But as far as like bashing them, no, we love women.
I mean, some of y'all do, but it's some bashing because when you say stuff like, that's why I don't date black women because they this, that's why I only date white women. That's bashing.
I can't identify with that.
Like y'all ghetto mothers, y'all this, y'all that. That's bashing. And just like you said, and a lot of it is just stems from that particular person's experience. So they grouping everybody together.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I agree with that. But we gotta be careful with saying maybe the way it come off might be bashing, but if somebody preference something, I don't know if that's bashing. Like if male or female, anybody, like if a woman preference a slimmer dude, she don't like fat guys, they ain't fat guy bashing or shaming. That's her preference, you know. So if a nigga don't like dark skinned girls, he like light skinned girls, it's more of a preference than a bash.
Agreed. I agree with that.
Well, it's a preference until it crosses the line of saying, I don't like fat dudes because they sloppy, they ugly, they stink. Now that's bash.
Now that's bashing. That's bashing.
Yeah.
And generalizing.
Right. Because I don't get with them dudes that say I don't date black women because they too mouthy and all that. No.
No, that's the ones you dealt with.
Exactly. Those
are
your
you grew up around or that raised you or what have you like that. But yeah, you can't. I agree with that.
Where they at? They shut all the way down?
I don't know. We running the show right now.
Exactly.
We running
I'm in a group, and a lot of the women in there prefer when you say accountability, they equate that to blame. I'm like, how do you equate somebody telling you got to be accountable for the choices you made as them blaming you for something?
Yeah.
I mean, I hear a lot of people. Like I hear a lot of women that tell men, if you chose a woman and she had bad baby moms, then that's your choice and you're responsible. Yeah. But if you tell a woman that she was bad, that it was her responsibility for choosing a bad dude, then it's like, nah, she ain't made a bad choice. She was a victim.
They chose each other. Only responsibility he got would be to them kids.
That's right.
That's it.
So apparently, the sophisticated Grizzly. Yeah, well, we're trying to come back. So apparently, the sophisticated Grizzly is not friendly to laptops.
No, we were holding it
because this is a whole new laptop in a whole new place, and apparently, they after the Grizzly. It's something about what we talked about. I keep telling Shy it's her charisma and her beauty. She keeps crashing the internets wherever she goes. You know what I mean?
Okay. It's that chocolate thing.
It's that chocolate right there. It's all of the chocolate. Okay. Or could it be JB in the masquerade? Could it be JB in the fact that he's one of the best guests to ever have on your podcast? Oh yeah. Or could it be Mr. Grizzly because I'm a growl at your podcast? You're damn right. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Damn right.
Hey, Teddy.
What's up?
Y'all gotta also be careful, man. That alphabet group, they don't play fake.
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I don't care because I get tired of. They can say whatever the hell they want to us. Everybody can say whatever the hell they want to us, but every time we say something, all of a sudden we're phobic, we're scared with it. My thing about it is, if we're homophobic, that means you're cisphobic. That means you're afraid of any question that we decide that we want to ask. You have a phobia about answering it. You're afraid of the truth. You're afraid of just actually saying the truth and what it is that we're asking. All the man asked you was, what do you stand for? Am I correct?
Right.
That's all he asks is what you stand for. What are your goals? What are the things that you're trying to do? And all of a sudden he got hit with all of that hate because he didn't say anything hateful. The young man said everything the hateful he possibly could against straight black men. So so it don't matter whether it's on a laptop, it don't matter whether it's on a cell phone. Damn it, I don't care if it's on transistor radio. You're gonna hear what the hell the Grizzly got to say. Sha, do you have anything to say on that?
I got nothing to say on
that. I got nothing to say on that. So anybody in the studio got something to say on this here? We got some beautiful ladies over here to go. We got my man Rich over here. Rich, what you got to say, bro? Yeah. What about JB?
I'm working on it.
JB working on it, man. We almost there. We still trying to get the laptop back up, but right here on the phone, I do want to ask y'all this. He had another statement that he decided that he wanted to make. And it was it may have been the smaller one, but he said we're the most xenophobic. Now I'm not sure what xenophobic. So can somebody explain to me what a xenophobe is, so that I can try to walk around or walk right into that issue. See, I don't walk around nothing. I'm gonna walk right into it. I believe we have the laptop back up. I'm gonna cut it off here on the.
You can give me some extra lemon. Damn it.
There's some lemon in it.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Bye. You might have to rejoin the link. You only one on.
He said, don't rush them. I want to be rushed.
Gasly's still on there too. He just okay, there we go. Everybody.
Wow.
So yeah. So apparently
it's out of content.
Yeah.
The laptop's working fine. It's signal. Look, the signal dropped again.
Yeah. Signal every time we get back on here we go.
And look on the laptop. Signal is all full.
You got anything else running on the laptop? Any other programs open on the laptop?
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody, are y'all good? Or they frozen? They frozen?
They froze.
Damn. There they go. Hold on, something popping.
We got
Somebody else coming. There they go.
Who's the fool number 4?
Y'all all over the place, man.
Yeah, man, we all over the place on here, man. I kid you not. Every time we try to put it up on the laptop, we can't get it, but we get it up on the phone.
That's cool though. You got a little tag sitting right there. That's slick. Oh, it's gone.
Hey, is anything else running on the laptop?
Nothing else running on the laptop. It's just that's it.
And it's plenty of signal.
It's plenty of signal. It's just for whatever reason, StreamYard is saying no, not today, no can do.
Don't like StreamYard.
Well, from the world of IT, did you reboot it?
Yes, we did. We're doing that now.
Because that's IT 101, baby. We always tell you to reboot it.
Oh, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna keep my head in here today. We're gonna go from every angle. So if this pops off again, we still gonna be on here. We ain't playing no games with this tonight.
I ain't here to play no games.
They're just acting a fool.
Yeah. So but you know what? I think we actually did hit everything the way that we need to. I think we said everything we needed to say. So if it was somebody trying to cut us off, I'm sorry, you're too late. We said the words we needed to say. So kiss ass. And yes, I will say it. I will do that. Do what you got to do. So, like I said, if you try to cut this off, guess what? I'm coming back stronger. I'm coming back worse, and I'm gonna say worse shit. So if you know me, you might not want to do that. You might want to keep the fluffy teddy. You don't want no goddamn grizzly coming out. So anybody got any last
video? What I miss?
Huh?
I saw the original video online.
Yeah. Well, I got the video up on the Grizzly, where the young man decided that he wanted to come at straight black men.
I saw that.
So,
I saw that a month ago. What I'm saying is, what sparked the conversation? Did somebody?
I saw it.
Got you.
So when I saw it and I heard everything he had to say, I processed it before I decided to hop on it because I didn't want to react. I didn't want to be reactionary. I wanted to actually hear what the young man had to say. And I heard it a couple of times. And each time I heard it, he sounded like an idiot.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, we addressed everything we needed to. I want to know everybody's final thoughts because we're going to go ahead and shut this down and we're going to figure out why they keep messing with the Grizzly. We're going to start with Ms. Drama and Mr. Damon.
Only thing I have to say is that I just wish both communities, since they technically separated, I guess, well, they all consider themselves community because there's different races of gay, queer, or whatever they call themselves. But we need to have that conversation where, because you are a part of that community, you're also still a part of whatever culture that you came from. You're still a representative of that. So we need to stop separating ourselves from that. And they also, I really do believe they need to stop being so damn sensitive. Like, I'm gonna just be honest. Like, they're very sensitive. Just like we said, like, they can say how they feel, but we're not allowed to say how we feel. And that's not fair.
Exactly.
That's not fair. But yeah, I would just like to know, just like you said, the background of that young man to see who hurt him so deeply that he feels that way. Because he's definitely hurt. And as we all know, hurt people do what? They hurt people.
Hurt people. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Damon, what you got, brother?
I'm gonna say, by listening to what he was saying, and I'm not blaming I don't want people to get the impression that I'm blaming single mothers, because that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it sound from what he was saying in the video and from what I processed, it sounded like he was waving the banner for the plight of single mothers.
Okay.
And I'm gonna rephrase it: the bitterness of some single mothers. And I'm not saying that single mothers don't have a right to be, because they do. You know, some of these dudes, you know, didn't have conversation, didn't tell these women that, hey, I'm not interested in the baby, I'm just interested in sex. You know, let's strap up and let's do what we got to do. He's, in my opinion, he's in an identity crisis, and I don't mean his sexual orientation. I mean, he forgets that even though he may be a part of the gay community, he's still a black man, and he's still going to be as a black man. So in hindsight, he hates himself. So that's my view.
Mr. JB.
For me, it's more or less, you can't identify yourself and be wanting people to identify you with you if you're blasting their situation. If you're going to spit hatred or vitriol towards the black man, how do you expect them to want to give you a loving hug and be accepting of what you're doing? while we're hugging you, you're putting a knife in our back, basically. So, I mean, the whole idea is that everyone who wants to have an open ear to someone's plight needs someone who's saying their plight with an open mind. Because I can't take hate talk from someone who wants acceptance.
Damn right.
So if you want someone to hear you, speak with words and that was the problem. If you can't answer the question, say, I don't know, find your answer and come back. Don't send or spend time being almost hateful. It was hate speech towards straight black men. Yeah. So how can you expect people to want to be a part or help you or want to, sign on to your plight if you're being just everything that you don't want them to be to you?
Exactly. Mr. Gaston, what you got, brother?
Man, I'm sitting here talking to y'all and looking at what's going on in the Ukraine. People just need to open their minds and their hearts up a little bit. Just understand that we all here. You dig what I'm saying? Nobody have no instruction booklet. Live and let live. That's all. We live and let live. That's it, man. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, so we're gonna go before we go to Lady Shy. We're gonna go to Mr. Rich, my man. What's your last word, bro?
Y'all have a good night, man.
Y'all
be safe.
You speak, educate. Stop speaking out your ass. That's it. That's all I got.
Lady Shy.
Okay. So even though I love a good read, I don't feel like his was a good one. And unless he can skin himself and remove himself from being a black man, then I can't respect anything in his statement. That's all I have.
Yeah. All right, so I'm not gonna fry his ass because I had every intention of frying to that tonight. But what I'm gonna say is this: whatever pain that you're going through ain't got nothing to do with every single straight black man on this planet. Because at the end of the day, the same problems you have are the same problems that we have. Your skin is not accepted. Your skin is a problem. Your skin is always going to be feared. So it doesn't matter who you want to sleep with, who you want to be with. And it doesn't matter if you want to be a woman or you identify as a man. If you keep that same skin, they're going to have a problem with it. So that's all I got to say. I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. I want to thank Mr. Gaston, Mr. Bronwyn. I want to thank Mr. He Said, Mr. She Said, Red Lipstick Vibes. My cousin Ernest popped in. I want to thank everybody that is in the studio. Mr. JB, Lady Shy. We got Mr. Rich. We got Miss K. And of course, we got Miss Sheila. We got a full studio tonight. But what I want to say to you guys is like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We love you. We appreciate you. Thanks for showing up. And if you got a problem with everything we had to say, and you got some shit that you want to say about what we had to say, here's what we got to say to you. Everybody in unison, shut your mouth. Shut your black ass mouth. Good night.
Good night.
We can't say that, bro. Can't say that, bro.